The first major and most well-known console war took place in the early 90s.
16-bit arcade graphics.
While there had always been competition, this was a very public and gritty battle between the two then powerhouses of the gaming industry, Nintendo and Sega.
What Nintendo?
This conflict rested almost solely on the shoulders of the respective console mascots, Mario and Sonic. A well-known fact is that, while under development, the first Sonic game was actually codenamed Defeat Mario, which is as clear a sign as any to their main goal.
My main goal!
30 years later, and they're still both going strong, both with current gen releases, but from way back in the 90s...
Back in the 90s, back in the old school.
Who won? I feel like it makes most sense to start with the sequel to the best-selling game of its time, Super Mario World. Focused and direct, it's another creatively diverse Mario game that kept most of the good ideas from its predecessors. Big cactus in my way. The world map is back, the cape is like an upgraded Tanuki tail. Short and plump, this iteration of Mario is still iconic today, and the overall high quality sprite work of the game helped this newest installment stand out amongst its peers. I like the sprite work in this game, the character images. Dinosaur Island feels whimsical and childlike, which is a recurring theme throughout the game as you travel across the island. You're a scumbag. Me talking like that, I mean, it's not a very pleasant way to talk. If I could express myself in a nicer way, then I wouldn't have to cut as much shit out. And I'm dead. Fuck this game! Mario is easy to control when playing through the many levels, which can at times test your platforming abilities, while often being filled with enemies placed in the most infuriating positions. Needless to say, on more than one occasion, no, why wouldn't you jump? I got upset spaghetti. I wonder why I'm down to my last life, maybe because these levels are stupid! Stupid, fat hobbit. But it was absolutely worth the effort, as you gradually improve, eventually to the point that you can reach and defeat Bowser. Sonic the Hedgehog was in direct competition with Super Mario World, as they were released just months apart in the United States. The Sonic team advertisers began marketing Sonic the Hedgehog as the cool new kid on the block, and were pretty relentless in their campaign to persuade gamers into buying their console instead.
Oh, this is Sonic the Hedgehog from Sega Genesis. Hey, look at these radical colors, huh?
Wow, Sonic's fast too.
No, over here.
I like Genesis, and it costs a lot less.
They portrayed Mario as the lame teacher's pet.
Why can't it be more like that nice boy Mario?
Knowing that it was predominantly kids who were engaged in gaming at the time, and it actually worked. It wasn't all just sociological and business tactics, however, that made Sonic the Hedgehog a success. The game was and still is a lot of fun. Yes! Ooh, perfectly timed, perfectly timed. Alright, bombs. Sick, perfectly timed, yeah, so I'm dead. By far a worthy contender, Sonic handles well throughout the various maze-like stages. I'm so lucky. Jumbled and exciting, the level designs are creative and intricate. I play this game quite slow because I like to try and discover all of its secrets, and despite having completed the game, I know that I'm still yet to see everything that this classic has to offer, so which do I prefer? Both games look great, both games play great, and they both sound amazing. Their soundtracks are equally well made and memorable, but if we want to answer which game is better, we'll have to address their differences here. Time plays an important role in both games, but they use it in completely opposite ways. Remember when I spoke about the boulder and boar from Crash Bandicoot? In Super Mario World, the timer counts down, like the boulder, whereas in Sonic the Hedgehog, it counts up, like the boar. This achieves a completely different effect and is not something to be understated. By having the timer count down, Super Mario World restricts your freedom to explore its many levels and places a bigger emphasis on progressing through the stages. I never actually ran out of time, but subconsciously knowing that the timer was there and counting down, I naturally hurried along. Considering that Super Mario World is designed to be the slower paced and more open-ended game, this choice doesn't really fit. Sonic the Hedgehog instead has its timer counting up, which supports a more relaxed and gradual pacing. How fast you beat the level affects your score at the end, but generally you're free to explore and experiment without running down a clock. Your only immediate threat being the hostiles that inhabit each zone. Do you see what the problem is yet? The game is supposed to be more intense, but it doesn't restrict your time, and then the one that is supposed to be more relaxed is constantly counting down. I don't know why it is, but When it comes to time, both games completely defy their nature. So despite being different, this is yet another thing they actually have in common. Sonic is much shorter, but when you game over, you get sent straight back to stage 1. Mario is the longer game, but when you game over in this, you at least get checkpoints. This means that beating Sonic felt more challenging and rewarding. However, Mario was less frustrating and difficult. As I keep going, it honestly just feels more and more like it's a preference between these two, as opposed to a definitive right and wrong answer. But if I had to pick PlayStation 1,